Hey everyone, welcome to another video by SingularityComputers. Today I'm taking a look at a couple of products from Ozone, the Radon 5K gaming mouse and the Ground Level Evo gaming mouse mat. I've been given this opportunity by the Cool Room, so massive thanks to them for sending these products out for review. So first of all, a look at the Radon 5K. The accessories that come with the mouse is a quick start guide, driver and software disk, and you get two bags. One of them is for the mouse, for lands, etc. The other is for the weights. The mouse has a weight system which I'll show you shortly. Now looking at the mouse itself, it has the Philips PLN 2032 sensor, adjustable resolution from 100 to 5600 dpi, motion reporting up to 1 millisecond, report rate up to 1000 Hertz. The mouse has a power consumption of 100 milliamps. The dimensions of the mouse is 122.43 millimeters by 82.7 millimeters by 43.7 millimeters. It weighs 135 grams plus or minus 5 grams with the cable and weights, because the mouse has a weight system which I'll show you shortly. The cable has a high quality braid. You're certainly not going to have any problems with that. Now the mouse has 8 buttons, 7 of them are programmable. You can see there's an Ozone logo here. Now the Ozone logo is actually the chemical formula for the Earth's ozone layer, if you were wondering. Now we have left and right click, scroll wheel and scroll wheel click. The scroll wheel has a fairly coarse texture on it which makes it great to use. So we have another button here which actually has 2 functions. It rocks forwards and backwards. So you can see that from here. You can push it forwards and pull it backwards. By default, this button is for the sensitivity stages. There is 4 sensitivity stages that you can access through this button. And you can see them via the lighting just here. So I'm pushing it forwards, the sensitivity is increasing, pull it backwards, it decreases. This button here is to access the profiles. So as I mentioned, this mouse fits 3 profiles on the onboard memory. We'll take a bit more of a look at that shortly in the software. So that's defaults, profile 1, 2 and 3. Now for the finishes on the mouse, we have a pitted rubberized finish underneath the thumb on the left side of the mouse. This feels very hard and durable. It doesn't feel like the sort of rubberized finish that's going to get sticky after a given time like some mice do. The rest of the mouse is a soft touch finish except for this lightly textured finish between the left and right click. Now what I really like about this mouse is the shape. It's incredibly comfortable. For my hand, it is actually just about perfect. It's a palm grip for me. I have a big hand. You can see that my fingers aren't quite coming to the end of the mouse. As you can see, the groove for the thumb is quite deep, which makes it great for grip. It's also very comfortable. The length is going to be great for just about everybody. These 2 buttons are also really well placed and easy to access. The shape across the top is just amazing. You know, the left and right click, you can see that they have a slight curve in them. So your fingers just sit into them really nicely. It helps with the grip. You can see the curve on both of them. And then there's actually a high spot that comes in through here. And it sits between my index finger and my middle finger there. So it comes down there and it just feels great. On this side, this is really my favorite part of the design, the shape of the mouse. One of the most uncomfortable things about a lot of mice is that there's no room on the mouse for your little finger. So you have to cramp your fingers together, which takes a lot of effort. Your fingernails sometimes dig into each other, and worst of all, your little finger actually drags on the mousing surface, which can, affect your gaming performance, and it also hurts. Now what they've done to avoid this, you've got a massive area here for the ring finger and your little finger. You have a nice rise to divide them so that you don't get your nails digging in. So the little finger basically sits in there, ring finger sits up there, and it just feels great. Just look at the front of the mouse. You can see the curves in the left and right click there. And a look underneath the mouse. Now something cool that they've done here is they've given you a lot of options for cable routing. The default is out through the middle, but you can go out this side, or out here or here, just whatever suits you. So here is the weight system. You can see there's an arrow, so basically all you do to open it is twist it. And let's have a look at these weights. So there's 5, each is 4.5 grams. They sit in a hard sponge type material. So you can see they're just chromed. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mouse feet. They're very small, so they're going to be susceptible to wear and tear, but they're easy to replace and they're cheap, so that's not such a problem because the benefit that you get from having small mouse feet is less drag. The more surface you have, on the bottom of the mouse touching the mouse mat, the more drag there's going to be, the more friction there's going to be. So I like these small mouse feet for that reason. You can see the laser there. Okay, now for a look at the software. So here you can access the 3 profiles on board the mouse. You can bring them on and off the mouse using these arrows to edit them and change them. You also have some pre-made profiles here which you can bring on and off the mouse. You can also bring these pre-made profiles over here to edit them. You can delete them, rename them. You also have a library here. I guess it might be where you can save profiles onto your hard drive. So over here you can change the functions of 7 of the mouse's 8 buttons. This is all the different functions that you can change the buttons to. So you have some scripts in there. So you have 2 pages, profile and config. So now looking at config, we have 4 DPI levels. You can adjust each one individually here. And the USB report rate, you can adjust to 4 levels. So that's it. That's a quick overview of the software. Now for a look at the Ozone Ground Level Evo mouse mat. As you can see, this mouse mat is absolutely enormous. It's 900mm by 450mm by 3mm. It's designed to cover your entire desk and also go underneath your keyboard. There's a number of benefits to having a mouse mat of this size. You're obviously never going to find the edge of the mouse mat. That's not going to be a problem at all. The mouse mat is not going to move because it's underneath your keyboard. Your keyboard is holding it into position. Also, if you put it underneath your keyboard, you can bring it right up to the edge of the desk so that when you rest your wrist on the edge of the desk to use your keyboard, the desk is not going to cut into your wrist. So you can see we have the Ozone logo down in the bottom left hand corner. It's all about evolution, and we have the evolution of man over here. Now, underneath the mouse mat is a rubberized and textured finish. This grips really well. It's really soft and spongy. The mouse mat is actually quite stretchy and rubbery, and that's because you can see that rubberized material actually makes up almost all of the mouse mat, and there's only a very thin 1mm or 0.5mm surface that covers the top of the mouse mat, and this is the actual mousing surface. Now this is very, very fine. Personally, I much prefer finer mouse mats because the mouse just glides across them with minimal effort. There's no vibration. Also, sometimes with coarser mouse mats, the mouse actually, or the sensor starts to pick up the indiscrepancies in the surface, and it can affect tracking. I actually find that this mousing surface is a nice balance between glide and control. Sometimes if mousing surface is too slippery, it can affect your control. Okay, it's now time for my conclusion. So the Radon 5K. First of all, I'm going to talk about the tracking. Now the tracking with this mouse is good, but it's not perfect. I'm extremely fussy about tracking. For me, I will use an absolutely terrible mouse as long as the tracking is spot on. There was a couple of little things that I noticed about the tracking. First of all, I just need to say that a lot of people might not even notice this. It's only one aspect of the mouse, and these were only little niggles. They didn't majorly affect my gaming performance or anything like that. First of all, when I clicked, the cursor would move slightly. It would actually go around in very small circles, and I noticed this on a number of different mouse mats. I didn't just test this mouse on this one mouse mat. Also, I'm a low sensitivity gamer. I adjust the mouse position a lot. Every time I did this, the cursor would move diagonally towards the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Okay, the software. It's basic and simplistic, but it's just like the software that you get with a whole lot of other mice. It does the job. I like the surfaces on the mouse, although I would have liked to have seen a surface with a bit more grip on the right hand side of the mouse underneath the little finger and ring finger. Not that grip was a problem though, because of the incredible shape of this mouse. As I said, this is one of the most comfortable mice that I've used. It really took me by surprise. Now, the overall quality. There was only a couple of little problems that I found. The mouse is really light, even with the weights, so it doesn't have a solid quality feel to it. Also, some of the buttons feel, a little bit cheap, but seriously, for the price of this mouse, the quality is very good. I think for the average gamer who doesn't want to spend a fortune, this mouse is going to be perfect. Now, the Ground Level Evo. This is an excellent mouse mat. I didn't find any problems with it at all. It's absolutely massive. It grips well. The surface is excellent. It's a nice balance between control and precision. That sums up this review. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and favorite if you want to see more.